Welcome to Planit DevOps. DevOps Process Optimization, or DPO, is one of our DevOps offerings. It is a maturity assessment and capabilities program to help optimize, steer, and accelerate your DevOps journey. To put the DPO program into context, let's quickly recap some of the DevOps objectives, principles, and challenges. I think it's fair to say that digital transformation is here and it's entrenched, and that transformation has caused business disruption. A couple of good examples would be Airbnb and Uber, where the customer experience has been completely transformed in their markets. Amazon Go may equally transform the grocery shopping experience. But how does DevOps support these transformations, and why does Planit consider it critical for business and technology leaders to embrace DevOps principles and practices? So DevOps has become the enabler for that digital transformation. It's a given there is a quest or a need for speed to deliver software to the business without sacrificing quality or security. And our customers have recognized it. In the 2016 Planit Testing Index, over 20% of customers identified DevOps trending initiatives, and a further 20% with Agile trending initiatives. And that makes sense because DevOps requires a culture of collaboration and team agility, and it demands collective responsibility for success or failure and continuous learning. Lean processes that allow work to flow continuously downstream without defect, and tools for the right fit and purpose to support that workflow, and metrics for team visibility, early feedback, and monitoring of production health. So how does Planit view the DevOps landscape and the DevOps principles? All for one, where everyone, IT and business, has a collective responsibility for successful quality software delivery, instead of the individual heroics to get a feature release into production. DevOps empowers lean, agile teams who can innovate, experiment, execute, measure, and achieve. And to automate where it makes sense for reliable and repeatable outcomes. And all of this in a culture of organizational learning that can be integrated into future work. So to summarize DevOps, I think we all recognize that business no longer has months to deliver new software. It's measured in weeks, and in some cases even days. And we should also recognize there is no value in software until it has been delivered to the customer. Meeting customer expectations on time, every time, with less defects is an outcome of successful DevOps, and continuously improving even when achieved. Also, doing so without losing sight of security, which is more important today than ever. Even in DevOps, there are no shortcuts. As with any major initiative, embarking on a DevOps journey without a plan, a roadmap, and a defined set of outcomes can be a high risk and a high cost experience. Planit DPO has been modeled on its renowned Agile and test process optimization programs, and of course it's been successfully implemented by our DevOps teams. It provides customers with a set of assets to proceed: the plan, roadmap, capabilities, and the improvements needed to progress from a current state and achieve a desired or target state. So DPO will map out a practical DevOps journey and minimize the risk associated with DevOps adoption. As you'll hear in the DPO details, every customer is unique. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. Business objectives, priorities, and the capabilities to support those objectives will vary. The target states will vary. Some examples could include simply reducing software deployment release schedules from quarterly to weekly, or even continuously. Establishing new architecture and provisioning capabilities quickly and reliably, or measurably reducing production defects, or enabling early warning processes that prevent a customer impact. Regardless, target states should be achievable and measurable in a culture of team ownership, and where late night and long weekend hours become an exception, not the rule for IT. So the DPO is conducted through a series of interviews, dialogue, observation, and reviews of key areas. It's held with business stakeholders and across the entire IT value chain. Mapping the current state and establishing a roadmap to achieve the target state is a DPO outcome. And as we mentioned, DPO deliverables are a customer asset, A customer may proceed independently, use a third party, or engage with Planit's DevOps team as a trusted partner. The DPO leverages Planit's maturity and capability model. We use a scale of 1 to 5 in each DevOps area, from a 1, where individual heroics are often the norm to deliver project success, up to a 5. But these are the DevOps unicorns like Netflix, where continual improvement and experimentation is their norm. Now, in practical terms, most enterprises don't aspire or need to reach a 5. Perhaps they have monolithic systems that still drive business, or outsourced programs where SLAs hinder time to market. But improvements are required to achieve DevOps' need for speed. Our experience has shown that progressing a business to a 3 maturity level in the first DevOps adoption program will achieve very positive returns. Now I will hand off to a DevOps technical specialist to discuss the journey and the DPO program in more detail.
We view the DevOps journey in 6 segments. The DPO measures current capability in each area and helps to establish or validate a future state. Since DevOps isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, customers only need to adopt relevant aspects of the journey. Following slides cover each segment in 2 parts. The first identifies the what, the second describes a potential DevOps state. The plan and define phase establishes the type and complexity of work required for product delivery. So in an ideal world, the business will define and justify product requirements, then deliver them in a prioritized list to IT, which becomes the basis for planning and estimation. Planning is the process where all stakeholders, Dev, Ops, and the business agree on the amount of work and assign to an iteration. Work for Dev being development effort, for Ops deployment effort, and for the business, test and acceptance. Optimal planning should use a tool, whether it's stickies on a whiteboard or an enterprise ALM suite. Planning is the foundation of the SDLC. It has to be done right. All stakeholders need to be able to see requirements, tasks, tests, and team commitments. Collaboration should happen within a tool that enables policy enforcement, approvals, and open communication. There's no point in implementing a feature the business can't test and operations can't deploy. We need to constantly be asking ourselves what worked, what didn't work, and what we can do better as a team. And when something goes wrong, we need to be able to quickly identify the cause and fix it. And you can't do that without traceability. Development teams consist of people with varying skill levels who can be located anywhere. To be most effective, standards must exist for coding practices and tool usage. A feature-driven branching strategy and a focus on continuous integration with automated tests and security scans help to ensure the product is always in a potentially shippable state. Developers are left to develop. Building software is an art form, but standards need to exist that define how to write code that is extendable and maintainable. Test-driven development is a way of life. Version control enables development teams to organize and track their changes, while CI enables development to receive immediate feedback by running automated builds, tests, and potentially deploying to dev. It's okay to use new tools, but they must be ready to scale and be supported by all stakeholders. Testing is about understanding the quality of a software product and its associated risks. Tests should be everywhere and run continuously after every commit and deployment. Automation protects against regression, freeing up testers for higher value work, such as manual and exploratory testing, and running progression tests to improve coverage. Artifact management is essential for collaboration, tracking product quality, and reporting status. Shift left. Test early and often, correct immediately. Testing is everywhere in the SDLC, and continuous test automation supports the DevOps need for speed. Functional testing ensures product conformity. Integration and system tests measure the quality of the respective components and the product as a whole. Performance testing, too often overlooked, ensures an acceptable customer experience and scalability. And finally, service virtualization contributes to a test early approach by allowing the creation of stubs to represent a missing component. Deployment is the automated movement of software to a target environment. Continuous delivery is the process of deploying in a consistent, repeatable way to achieve the same outcome. Orchestration enables deployment in each environment through parameterized processes. By the time production is reached, the process has been continuously tested and can be relied upon. When deployments fail, rollback is automated and environments are reset. The release and deploy phase is often the start of a DevOps journey because of an expectation of quick wins and early payback. In reality, deploying more often doesn't result in a better quality product. Release management is complicated. All stakeholders share the responsibility for product delivery. So a visible deployment pipeline enables a feedback loop and culture where problems are identified early and fixed fast. Automation only provides value when it is trusted, consistent, and continually applied to all environments. It would be unusual for an enterprise not to be using monitoring tools or analytics today. Application performance and infrastructure monitoring is critical to production uptime and continuity of business. Early warning alerts provide the information available to identify and correct issues before the business or customer is impacted. And problem identification and resolution is simply part of the SDLC. Measuring application and performance health enables continuous feedback by detecting and reacting to defect leakage and performance violations. Lifecycle traceability supports a culture of quick response and root cause analysis required to protect the customer experience. All changes must pass through defined quality gates for software and infrastructure. Fixing forward is only permitted under exceptional business circumstances. It's obvious that if it can't be measured, it can't be improved. Whilst we've defined continuous improvement as the sixth segment of DevOps, it is clearly ingrained in every stage. A culture of continuous learning must exist where innovation and experimentation are encouraged and mistakes are part of the improvement process.
So to quickly wrap up, Planit DPO is a fast, low-cost program delivered by DevOps specialists. It's designed to optimize, steer, and help accelerate the DevOps journey to achieve a target state, with checkpoints to ensure successful outcomes. The DPO is for customers embarking on a DevOps program, or perhaps those needing a course correction if progress and costs have failed to realize expectations. Planit, more than 20 years experience, over 1,100 full-time employees, and a global reputation for excellence. So in closing, we hope you gain some value and insights that will help ensure your DevOps journey will also be successful. Thanks for listening.